How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. Today's project in the shop is having to do with my air compressor. Remember about a couple, 3-4 months ago maybe? Yeah, about 4 months ago now, I got a new air compressor. Sanborn air compressor, got a Princess Auto, great machine. Anyways, the original oil I put in that, I think I'm going to change today because, you know, during the manufacturing process and assembly and whatnot, there could be some contaminants and chips and metal filings and whatnot get in that crankcase. The compressor's been running great, and it's been running now for about 3 or 4 months, so I think any of those chips or manufacturing debris or contaminants will be totally flushed out of the compressor now and in the crankcase sump. So I'm going to drain that oil out, hopefully get rid of all those contaminants, put new oil in it. So that's what the project is, going to change the oil in my compressor. So here's my compressor sitting in its nice little home here under the cupboard. So we're going to shut this off. And I'm going to disconnect the air line. Going to pull this out, set up to drain the oil out of the crankcase here. Okay, so when you look through the manual, some of the checks they say you should do on your compressor, well, they recommend every 100 hours. But because I just bought this compressor and it's fairly new, there's not a lot of time on it, I'm going to check them over right now to start with. First of all, they say you should check all the fasters, make sure they're tight, and I did that. And then it says check the air filters. A little deformed. So that air filter looks fine. And that air filter looks fine. They look like I just bought them. And then it says to check belt tension. Well, I checked the belt tension and it's decent. It's alright. It's like it was when I first bought it. So that's nothing to worry about there. One other thing, this past winter I went to start my compressor one day and it wouldn't start. What happened was it ended up tripping the breaker. And the reason it tripped the breaker was it wouldn't turn because the oil was cold. And this is 30 weight oil that's in my compressor. So, you know, the oil does get a little thick in the wintertime. So what I did was, I had one of these magnetic, super magnetic heaters. And it's meant for putting on a drain pan or an oil pan in your car. Or I bought it for my tractor. Anyways, what I did was I just stick that on the end here of the crankcase. And I plugged that in and about 20 minutes later, compressor started up, no problem, so that solved that problem. So I just leave that on there now. It's a good place to store it. I know where it is, and if I need it for my tractor or the car or anything like that, I can get it. No problem. The other thing they suggest is you check the pressure relief valve and make sure that there's no air leaks, and I do that on a regular basis as well. And of course my sign here says drain the tank every Monday. And no moisture in my compressor, I'm pleased to say. Not yet anyways. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to tip this compressor up a little bit just to get a little bit of angle here so that my oil can drain a little better. When I look at my sight glass, I see it's a little bit over full. Is that a mortal sin? Well, I don't think it's a mortal sin, but it shouldn't be over full. But since it was the first time I was running the compressor, I was worried about contaminants and debris maybe being in the crankcase. I thought, well, maybe a little extra oil wouldn't hurt, flush all that out. So that's why I left it like that. But anyway, I'm going to lift it up now, put a block under the rear wheel, get her tipped over, and then drain my oil. Now, in order to drain the oil so that it doesn't get all over the side of the compressor here, I got my little drain spout here, and I hope to get that connected on there somehow, but I don't know how that's going to go. This is a 10 mil drain plug. So what I'm going to do is drain that out, set that under there, and hopefully it drains in there good. Before I do that, in order to make the oil drain out better, I'm going to take the fill plug out of here. So we'll just set that right there so I don't lose it. Now it should run out of here better. So as that oil's draining out, I'm seeing in it little flecks of metal. So I'm glad I'm draining this, because if those flecks of metal were to get into the cylinder heads, that would be bad, I think. I'm not sure how much this holds, but we'll hold it here for a while. The compressor oil was like clear liquid, almost like the color of water, but I see this is kind of a gray color, so there's lots of contaminants in it, so I'm glad we're cleaning it. I wish I had a better setup for draining it, but I'm going to see if I can put a nipple on there, a close nipple, see if I have one in the shop. A close nipple out there. I'll need a cap for it. I don't know that I have one, but we'll see. Okay, I'm going to try something. Put a little tube in there. Because the oil is draining so slowly, so take that drain out again. Now I'm going to try blowing in here, see if that'll come out any quicker. Oh yeah, that's working good, eh? Excuse yourself. Okay, we'll just let that drain a little bit more. So I still see contaminants coming out of that oil. So maybe I'm going to put some more oil in it here, and then maybe we're going to let it run just for another, I don't know, 10-15 hours, and then change the oil again. Just make sure it's flushed out good and clean, or this could be happening forever, right? Who knows? Okay, we're going to put the plug back in. Take my little blow hose out. Take the block out. We'll get a funnel and fill this up with oil, and then we'll start her up again. Now, I finished draining the oil, but just to make sure, I'm going to open this up once more. Just because I've seen a little bit of oil left in the sight glass here. So I want to make sure that it's drained. Yep, nothing else coming out, so. So, it still shows a little bit of oil here in my sight glass, and I don't understand because I open up the drain again, there's nothing in there, but anyways, be that as it may, I have a little funnel in here. And the oil I'm putting in, it's a non-detergent Castrol 10W30, or 30 weight, SAE 30. The way it behaved in the winter when the oil was so thick that it wouldn't start, maybe I should put 10W30 in. But anyway, this is what I have. I'm just going to add a little at a time because from the look of the oil that's in the oil pan, this doesn't take a lot to fill it. And this is just as clear as water. So I'm pouring a little bit in the funnel at a time and then watching what the level is doing down here. But because the oil goes so slow, I'm letting it settle out a good amount of time before I check it. So I'll come back when we're finished. So there we are, we're just at the top of the red dot. That'll be good. So I think we're filled now with oil, and that didn't take much. It might have taken 250 ml of oil. So that's not a lot of oil. I thought it would be more than that, but that's what it says, so that's what I put in it. We put the fill plug and breather in the top, and that's it. Now it's back in place, turn it on. So the oil level shows still at the top of the red dot, so I think we're good. You know, it seems like I do a lot of maintenance videos. When I go back look through my playlists and whatnot, a lot of maintenance videos. But anyways, you know, that's what you have to do to keep your gear running. So this compressor, it's a new compressor. I just got it about 3 or 4 months ago. I want to look after it because my other compressor failed because I did not look after it. So this one I want to make sure that I stay on top of all the little maintenance chores, and today I changed the oil. And I'm glad I did because I saw lots of contaminants and grit and grime in it. So maybe if you have a compressor, you should check it out too. You never know. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hey, if you're new to the channel, I'm so glad you dropped by. It's great to see you, and I hope you come back often. Don't forget, everybody, thumbs up me. If you're regular viewers, thanks a million for all your support. In the meantime, I hope you have a great week. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. That's your challenge for the week. We'll talk to you.